Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the Big Brother Weekend Review. We're on week 8, and I have to be honest, I really wasn't even thinking about doing this video this week. I was thinking about taking a week off and not doing it, but I decided to go. I decided, well, I got a little extra time because I didn't have maybe time that I would normally have, but had some extra time, more time than I thought I would have. So I went ahead and I said, well, I can do a short, quick one because yeah, why not? Just to go over some of the things of the week and things like that, and because it's still and also the stuff that's going on this season has really just saddened me with the whole cookout and everything, and this whole ridiculousness about it, and it sucks. It really does. It sucks, and it's ruined the game, and I think it's gonna ruin the game for the future. This could have been a good season. They just would just you know they just got rid. They didn't try to do this because this is exactly what they did. They did this so that they could put 6 black people on the show to try to get one of them, you know, to win, and it's garbage, and it's so disheartening. It really is. So, but let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the things that are happening. There are what have it? So Derek X, as we suspected, went off and he went out and he won. He was evicted. So we had the thing, and Tiffany won. Tiffany won, and it was so it was one of the knockout counts. Tiffany won. She won HOH, and then we had the whole Cone of Destiny thing. We had to go through, and so people got to vote. So Claire was able to play. And they came up with a plan to make sure that Claire was the only one that would play. But Derek F played anyway because that's who he is, right? And he pretended like he threw it, but he was garbage at it. He garbage at everything. DF stands for the furniture because that's all he does is lay on the fucking furniture. Um, yeah, and and Hannah just continues to prove how much of a bitch she is. Really is. The only one likable is Xavier. He's the only one that's likable out of the cookout. The only one. All of them else get idiots, and just you know, Derek ever lays around, does nothing and thinks he's doing anything. Oz is ugly as fuck. Tiffany thinks she's a mastermind. She isn't. Kylan is talks too fucking much. And oh my God, what happened on Twitter this week with Kylan? Going back to all his tweets, they start calling him Kyron because he was doing because he was basically being a Karen to everybody. Everybody, he had responses and complaints about everyone and everything, right? Okay, if I probably would never get the opportunity to go on, but if I ever would go on Big Brother, I would make all of my accounts private. Everything that I have private. I would deactivate, you know, things I had, and I would, accounts and things like that. I could do nothing about my YouTube channel, but yeah, I would deactivate all of my social media, deactivate it or hide it, make it private so that people cannot see it. People not can get in touch with my family, or anything like that, because it's just wild what these people go on and start to doing. Yeah, and and like I said, and Hannah, I mentioned Hannah. Hannah's just a gosh, she's just a bitch, and she just gets on my fucking nerves. Xavier's the only one likable out of the cookout, the only one. So Claire won the Corner of Destiny, and instead of Claire, Claire's close to Tiffany. She always has been, and I guess she had some regret because, and that's one thing you should do. You need to think. You need to stop thinking about other things. You need to think about what's like best for your game, right? What's best for your game, and what, and she knows that Tiffany's been trying to get Sarah Beth out, but Sarah Beth isn't, Sarah Beth isn't, you know, Sarah Beth isn't coming for Claire. One, and two, what's getting Sarah Beth out? The biggest threats in the game are Xavier and Kylan. Those are the ones that can, those are the biggest threats that she's not working with. Claire's working with Hannah and Tiffany. And Liz is kind of a threat as well, but that doesn't mean anything, right? So wouldn't the smart thing be to take down Sarah Beth and put up Ozza or Derek F? More importantly, Ozza, because Ozza's never been on the, she hasn't been on the block. She hasn't been on the block. So why in the hell are you, you know, not, you know, doing this? It really is. It is so unreal, and it is garbage, and it's garbage, and this whole thing was garbage, and I'm just so sick of everything going on this season. I really am doing these videos, and this part I'm about to say doesn't necessarily talk about the season or the cookout, but it's just a whole bunch of things about, as social media and YouTube and things like that, and I'm wondering, like, are doing these recaps and reviews, are they worth it? Are they worth it? And what I mean by that is that, obviously you have to, if I do them on Tuesday, which on Thursday, which I think is the best thing to do. You do it on the Thursday, talk about what happened, this past week every Thursday. Um, so you do it, and you talk about it, and so what, you know, is it worth talking about it, so much that it takes up part of your day, especially when there are other things that I'm doing that I could, that I want to do, or that I might need to do. So, um, I'm really contemplating this maybe being my last one until finale night, when I would do finale. I don't do Survivor, so I'll be honest with you. I was doing Big Brother because I'm trying to have something connect. I'm trying to have something connect when it comes to all this. I do sports, I do all the reaction videos, I do my wrestling, I do all this stuff, and I'm trying to get something that connects, so I can bring in an audience, so I can grow the audience, right? And ideally, I would like to have a lot of stuff connect, so that some might be here for wrestling, some might be here for maybe the Big Brother, some might be here for my sometimes sports stuff, and sometimes I'd be in there for something else. But I have a whole bunch of things here, and things can be for one, or things can be for all. So that's what I try to do, and to be perfectly honest with you, it's not really connecting. I've been stuck on 2,700 subscribers for years. So it's, what exactly is, what's the deal? So so I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do it next year. And I'm trying to figure out if I still want to do this for the rest of the season, because, like I said, now that's got to do with the cookout, because the cookout is just tonight, more than like they've said that it's an endurance. They said last night on the show that it's a battle of endurance. Many of us think it's the slip and slide. So Claire, and so Claire under Credit Destiny, she did the secret HOH. She and they flipped the coin. It turned out that she won. Yeah, so then she basically nominated Sarah Beth and Kylan, for some, just because Tiffany wanted. She didn't do it wrong. She should have known the odds. She could have got one of the guys out, right? She could have got one of the guys out, but she didn't want to do that. And I see. I think that's something that needs to evolve in the game. Evolve in the game. When you're talking about an alliance, right? You what's best for the alliance is but you should be able to also play your own games, especially if you have a secret alliance, something like that. And that's one thing. Like, I hate the cookout, but you got to give them credit. Everything they do for the cookout. They're sacrificing, you know, being on the block next to their person. They're sacrificing their own personal games. Hannah and Hannah and Xavier and Tiffany and Kylan, at some point during the season, they have expressed verbally, or if not verbally, they've expressed, in another way, that you know that you know what what's going on in the game isn't good for them, but it's good for the cookout. So, and they're putting all in the front for the cookout. And while that's admirable, I don't know if that's necessarily the way to play, because, or the way I would play, where I should play, where you should play going forward, because you should also, when you are with an alliance and something like that, you need to have, not what's necessarily good for the Lions, but what's good for the certain members. If me getting out, no, the cookout is a totally different thing. Obviously, it's all them. It's all about the black thing, whatever. But if you are, but if it just was a normal season with a normal lines and it was under thing, you shouldn't do what's good for the line. You should do what's good for your game. And if this, and what's good for your game is, and going back to Claire now, it was good for me is making sure that Kylan or Xavier goes and not Sarah Beth. Then don't put Sarah Beth up. Put someone else in Sarah Beth's spot. And if Sarah Beth takes down Kylan, okay. And she wins the veto, takes down Kylan, okay, fine. She now has now X, and now you get to take out X. Right? Or you put somebody else up there. You don't put up, you put up somebody else, and now you got X gone. They obviously don't know, and they obviously, when it comes to cookout and everything like that. So that's gonna be interesting thing. There's some wonderment about what's going to happen afterwards, and how are they going to feel about, or what are the people going to feel about the cookout and things like that. And I unfortunately think that, again, like I've said, Big Brother had an agenda to get a black, winner. That's why they put 6 black people on this show, and they've littered the people with they've littered the show with people that would be on black people's side, you know, and um, Sarah Beth and Claire are bisexuals, so they would probably be more towards liberal, towards um, the black flight. Um, Derek and Alyssa are also people of color. They would be maybe closer to, be more important to them. Frenchie, even though he's a Republican, Black Lives Matter, up and down the thing, yada yada yada. Things like that. The 2 people who probably wouldn't have been Brent and Travis, they went out, week 1 and week 3. And I don't know about Brittany, with her autism and everything like that, and how things would, I don't know how she would, necessarily understand that. She had a hard time with the fact that she kept being put on a block. She had a hard time understanding that. So I don't know if she necessarily understand, the thing about, what the cookout is doing and how they would feel about, you know, being black. My hope is that I am wrong, and my hope is that there is some strained, hurtful feelings, with a lot of those people, with DX and and Alyssa and Claire and Sarah Beth and many others, because one of the things that they did is that they made them feel as if they were each other's number one, and they made them feel as if they were together, that they had their back, and they didn't have their back. The only back that they've had was the cookout. They didn't have the other one's back. And even though it's a game, and that's how you in the game is supposed to be played, it's not supposed to be played because of race. And you didn't have my back. That's because I was white. And I think that's how it should be feel. Okay, where was I? Because I really just blanked out there for a second. I really did. I totally forgot I was doing a video and just blanked out. So, let me just get back to recapping this week. So they did Secret H. She put back up Kylan and Sarah Beth. They had the veto. It was like a squirrel veto, and kind of like BB Comics, but not necessarily BB Comics. And you had to put the pictures in order, find the differences between the pictures and things like that. Like Christian had a cast, and then one time the cast was blank, and another time the cast had names on it, so you had to figure out everything like that. And Hannah won. She won the power veto. So. And Kylan, for some reason, Kylan wanted to try to get. I don't know if Kylan tried to do it to flip the vote, or Kylan just didn't want to be on the block for some reason. Uh, you know, just to cook out anything like that. So, and he just started talking too fucking much. And so he tried to get Hannah to use a veto on him. He didn't. She used it on X because X was the third nominee from his punishments of last week. So took X off the block. So now sitting on the block we have Kylan and Sarah Beth. Sarah Beth will be going home tonight. Um, and Yeah, and like they mentioned that this would be a battle of endurance. Many people think it's a slip and slide. It could be, maybe it isn't. It could be some other endurances as well. So we'll get to see. We'll figure out who wins tonight. I am, and there was something. It was something weird on there because Claire is a secret HOH, and I think somehow it was said on the live feeds that she has to throw the HOH upcoming. So how does she? Why would she have to throw the HOH? Why would she have to throw it? It's a secret HOH. So if she has to throw it, what when that say that it is now, it's endurance. So even if something where like they're hanging on and fall off, or if it's a slip and slide, you know, you know, maybe they'll put something out there like the $5,000 ball or something like that, or the have not pass or whatever, automatically playing veto or whatever it could be. Maybe they might do that, and they would tell her that she has to go for that. But see that doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. She should, if he's a secret agent, she should have to play. She should be able to play. You know, so I don't get that, because now that only leaves Alyssa as the only non-cookout member to be able to have the opportunity to win, and have the opportunity to win, have the opportunity to take out um, members of the cookout finally. Um, so it is just a thing. And some people have been talking about the steamroll. I listen again. I like domination. Again, if this was a normal season and this was a different alliance with different things, different people in it, I would be loving this. The fact that they're rolling through, and the fact they came up with this plan and everything like that, I would be loving it. But because this is a racial based thing, I hate this. I hate this, and so we'll see what happens next week. We'll see if I'll be doing this video next week, because it's starting to get tiresome. So, all right, y'all. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know how you guys feel about this past weekend. and just give me your thoughts on anything regarding this season. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.